What's up, everybody? Erock the Red here with another episode of AEW Bring the Boom, brought to you by Pop Culture Playground. It's the weekly AEW Dynamite review recap show. We got a lot to talk about. This was a bit of a weird episode of Dynamite tonight. A lot of promos, a lot of talking. You know, let's get into it. Let's do our rundown. So, starts off, we got Inner Circle rolling up like bosses, dude. Just a full fleet of dope black cars, and they come out all dressed in black. It was really cool. It was a cheesy intro, but dude, it was really cool. They looked really cool. That's the thing. If you're gonna be really cool, you gotta look really cool, and they did. First match, we start off with Hangman Adam Page versus Platinum Max Caster. I got my Hangman shirt on, National Beer Day. You know, we're doing it. But this match, it was kind of a stinker. It was real sloppy. Like, that seemed to be the theme tonight, was the matches seemed a little off. Like, everything about tonight's show seemed a little off. But you know, we'll get into some specifics as we go. So Max Caster came out. He's got another great rap. He talks about Joe Biden, Lil Nas X. He almost says "blow me" until he's stopped by Bowen. What's that guy's name? Bowen? I don't remember the rest of his name. But the match, it was all right. It was. Hangman had the upper hand for most of it. Bowen kept interfering. So, it was just, there just wasn't anything memorable about it. At one point, there was interference. Platinum Max Caster gets the chain and he punches Hangman with it. And I thought that was going to be an upset. But no, he kicks out and then ultimately goes for the buckshot lariat and gets stopped by Bowen, does a moonsault onto him, and then hits the buckshot lariat for the win. That was the best part of the match, easily. It was rough. It was a lot of points where they seemed to struggle. It was a slow match. That's all I got to say about it. Like, I'm a huge Hangman fan, and Caster has been impressing me lately too. So, it was probably just an off day for them. But Page gets the win, celebrates with a couple of beers for National Beer Day, pulling a Stone Cold. He's just tossing beers out to people, so that was pretty cool. Next up, we got Tony Schiavone's in the ring, about to talk to Death Triangle. He lets them know that they are getting their title shot next week on Dynamite, so that's pretty cool. Good announcement there. Best Friends interrupt them. All three of them, plus Chris Statlander now. She's part of the group. So, that's pretty cool. At one point, so they come out and they say they've got unfinished business. And then they're like, the boys are back in town, baby. And then it's like, oh, we got an alien too. I loved that. I thought that was fun. So, does that mean Death Triangle is going to get like a alien or a woman for them to feud? Like, I don't know who it would be if they did. Maybe like Evil East, or like one of the Latin American women. What was the other lady's name? Diamante, maybe her. I don't know. But then they wouldn't be the Death Triangle anymore. They'd be like the Death Rectangle or the Death Square, and that doesn't sound as cool. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, the Death Triangle's got their tag title match next week. I'm so excited for that. Next up, we've got Inner Circle. They come out to Jericho's intro, and we have to watch the whole fucking thing. Just do the sing along and shit like that. And then as soon as they're about to go, let's go to commercial. And I was like, fuck you. Like, you're going to make me watch this stupid sing-along that I've seen 100 times, and then we go to commercial? Just do the commercial during the sing-along. I was not a big fan of that move. That was really, really dumb. And like AEW, they normally don't do those stupid, I don't know. Anyways, we'll move past that. I was really pissed off. I was like, what the fuck? Now I gotta wait another like 2 minutes. Anyways, they're like, we're back in black. That's their gimmick now. That's their thing. They keep saying they're back in black, whatever that means. I don't know. They're just gonna always wear black. I don't know. Who knows? But they say they beat up the Pineapple, meaning the Pinnacle. I loved that. I'm surprised that didn't elicit some sort of pineapple chant. It was too hard to chant pineapple. Beat the pine. Yeah, it's too many syllables. Jericho says MJF stands for my jerk off friend. That was great. That's gonna be a t-shirt, guaranteed. And he calls him out on his shitty spray tan. Says that his scarf is he stole it from him and it's played out. He said he's got a clipboard if he wants to use that for his next gimmick. Great promo. Proves that Jericho is the GOAT, especially when it comes to cutting these amazing promos. Dude, if there's what's gonna happen, just give it to me every week. Go back and forth. MJF cutting a promo on Jericho in the Inner Circle, and then Jericho doing one on the Pinnacle and MJF. I don't care. I just give it every week. I don't need to see any wrestling. Just that.
Outsmarted by a man who can do everything, except for apparently put on a spray tan. Because a few weeks ago, when he was in this ring, he was oranger than Cassidy with more streaks than the bottom of that toilet bowl that I shoved his face into last week.
But Jericho also, he goes in on Tully, says he's like a third string member of the Four Horsemen. FTR says he can't remember their names, and they're interchangeable. It says Sean Spears has a dumb blonde mohawk in 2020, and then Wardlow needs to take off his clothes to count to 21, which I thought that was great. Anytime you get to talk about Wardlow's dick, I'm in. Just bam. Just put it in everyone. But the major point that we got out of this, Blood and Guts, is finally happening. It's been a year since it's been delayed. It was supposed to be March 25th, 2020. And it's coming now May 5th. Except this time it's the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. Dude, this is gonna be sick. I'm so excited for this. And I'm sure they'll build up a huge card to go with that match. I love when we get those one-off Dynamites, which I believe I didn't even look to make sure that it was a Dynamite, but yeah, I'll double check after this. But yeah, super excited for that. Next up, we got Christian Cage being interviewed again. Taz comes out, offers him a spot on Team Taz. We know how that's gonna go. Now Christian's gonna wrestle like I don't know. He'll probably wrestle Ricky Starks. But next up, we have the Godzilla versus Kong match that we've all been waiting for because of the gimmick. It was stupid shoehorned Warner Brothers thing. But it's Jurassic Express versus Bear Country. This was another match that was just, it didn't feel right. It was felt a little sloppy. I guess it's like all these big dudes just slamming into one another, and it's gonna be sloppy. There was a point that like Bear Boulder tried to catch. He was holding on to Jungle Boy, and he tried to catch Luchasaurus jumping off the rope, and I'm like, why would you ever think this was gonna work? Like it didn't even look like it would be close to working. Luchasaurus can't move. Like he can't. I don't know. But anyways, it starts off with Bear Country, pushing Jungle Boy, and they get the jump on the match. But it soon turns into Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express. I'll just say Jurassic Express. It'll be easier. They hit like Jungle Boy hits the trio of dives, and then bam. Luchasaurus hits a huge one over the top rope. That was great. But at some point, Bear Country turns the tables, and they got Jungle Boy in there for a while. Took a while before Luchasaurus gets the hot tag, and at one point we see before that this amazing double cannonball thing where like Bear Country's holding each other up and they run and like dive on Jungle Boy. That was on Luchasaurus. That was fantastic. But anyways, match gets finished with Luchasaurus doing a choke slam and then moonsault onto one of the Bear Country guys. I didn't write it down. I don't remember. One of the dudes. Bear something or Bear something. So, yeah, that match was meh. It was a little sloppy. I don't know where this feud goes from here. If this was going to be it, if there's going to be more, I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we go to QT Marshall, and the first time I've ever cared about QT Marshall, Marshall. What shall we call him? I don't know. But he's shooting hard, dude. He is coming down on Cody. Basically, he said he's the bargain brand Sting. Like, yo, that was good. He's talking shit about Dustin and like the whole Nightmare family. And then he's got Solo, Ogogo, and Camarado. And Ogogo actually, he cuts a little bit of a promo about his little boxing and stuff like that. And it was good. Like, I'm excited to see what he can do. He finally gets his in-ring Dynamite debut next Wednesday. So that's going to be awesome. But dude, he was a good talker. Like, so if he can, if he could put something together in the ring, like, he's going to be a star. Look forward to that. And then Camarado, he's a monster. He's a giant. He's awesome. He's the best of the bunch. And then QT Marshall says, "This is my fucking factory." And I was like, yo, this is, and then they try to throw paint on the wall, and yeah, they kind of miss a little bit. It wasn't what they set out to do, I'll tell you that much. Next up, our weekly visit with Tony and Sting. Although this one got broken up very quickly. Like, normally they'll let Sting like put like a sentence together. This one, it was like immediately interrupted by Jake Roberts. And, my favorite segment of the week is Jake coming out saying the weirdest nonsense shit ever. And he says, "Where's your little gerbil friend?"
Where's your little gerbil friend at? He looks like a little gerbil.
I love that. Like, yeah, Darby is a little gerbil friend. But anyways, thankfully Lance Archer comes out, grabs the microphone from him, and you could tell that Jake was not done yet. He kept reaching in to try to steal the mic and shit like that. But Lance just says that he's a main event guy and he wants to be in the main event. And Sting's like, "I agree with you." So it was weird. The whole thing was weird. And then on top of that, they kept showing Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky in the crowd. Like, all right, we get it. You're setting up something here. Like, I don't know how many times they showed them. 5 times. It was stupid. But we'll see where this goes. It's going to be Sting teaming with Lance Archer or something. I really don't know. But that led us into the next match. Darby versus JD Drake for the TNT Championship. Darby comes out. He's with Sting and JD Drake, the blue collar piece of shit. I don't know what his name is. It's not that. Blue collar badass. It's the blue collar badass. He comes out with Cesar Bononi and Rick Nemeth. So I don't know when we were supposed to care about JD Drake, but he did put on a great match, a very surprising match. I don't think that he was deserving of this title. I understand the open challenge rules or whatever, but there's a lot of people that could do an open challenge that are more deserving than this guy that we've never heard of. He's only wrestled a few times on Dark. I don't know. There's a lot of people that that you could have the open challenge accepted by. I don't really think, like, don't give it to Cesar Bononi or Rick Nemeth after this. Like, I don't know. Anyways, starts off, Darby hits this crazy tope where he goes flying at him. Dude, like, he just throws his body around like crazy. It's so scary, but so much fun to watch. And then at one point, Sting chases off Nemeth and hits Cesar Bononi with the bat, so they're out of it. So that's good. But JD Drake, for me, showed too much offense. Like, he was running the match for a while, and this guy's supposed to be like just kind of like a nobody, and you gave him way too much. Like, Darby kind of barely won that by, like, just being like crazy. So I think that you should have your champions be a little bit more stronger in the ring. But that being said, JD Drake put on a great match, proved that he definitely should be there, whether it's for the title, I guess that's another thing. But great match, and definitely cemented himself as somebody that we should be seeing more of in the future. But this match, it was finished with a Darby hit an awesome avalanche code red, and then hit him with the coffin drop, and still champion Darby Allin. So that was it was a good match. Not the greatest match again, but it was a good match. It was better than the matches that we had prior to it. So and then Darby celebrating, he's going to the back, and he gets fucking blasted by Butcher. And then the whole Hardy family office comes out. Bunny goes over to the announce thing and just starts being annoying. I don't know what she was doing over there. But Sting and the Dark Order come out, scare the Hardy family away. Bunny doesn't realize it, and then Ty Conte just starts beating the shit out of her. So that was a fun little thing. I still don't understand this feud at all. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe they'll do a blood and guts match too, and it's just going to be the whole card full of them, full of factions beating the shit out of each other. I don't know. We'll see. This one, it's still early, but it still seems strange. This whole feud. But we'll see. I have faith. I have faith that I mean, all the people in the feud are quality, so they'll make it work. I guarantee it. Next up, Jericho's in the back being interviewed by Alex Marvez and gets attacked by the Pinnacle. They beat the crap out of him, drag him out to the ring. FTR hits him with the spike pile driver. And then they're like, where's the inner circle? Where's the inner circle? And they're locked in their dressing room. Like, how do you know how you lock them in? And like the announcers were like, oh, they're bolted shut. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And then Excalibur's like, it was nailed shut. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense either. It could have just been locked, I guess, right? If you need a key, if you specifically need a key, I don't know. But it was silly. They should have given it more thought. Just put like a chain around the handle or something, just to make it, just really hammer it home that it's not, they just don't know how to unlock the door from the inside. But anyways, they smash through the door and still not coming out. So guess who has to make the save? Iron Mike Tyson, with his own theme music and his own little video. He's got it all. He's ready. He's there. He comes running out, rips off his shirt. Deja vu. Except this time, he's there to save Jericho. So he comes in and he starts punching the shit out of Spears. And then at one point, somebody like gets a little shot off on Tyson. And I bet they were shitting their pants like, oh, fuck, I think I just hit Mike Tyson. But I thought that was funny. And then the Inner Circle finally comes out, and they scare off the Pinnacle, and that's where that ends up. Next up, we go to Britt Baker. She's with Rebel, not Reba. They both got new shirts on, looking great. And she's saying that she needs to get her wins up. She can't be champion by just being like the star of the show as much as she thinks she should. So she's going to be on Dark and Elevation and all that shit, just trying to get her numbers up. So that's good. More Britt Baker is great. I'll take it. Next up, we've got the Bunny with Butcher and Blade and Matt Hardy versus Ty Conte. He's out there with, or she's out there with the Dark Order and Hikaru Shida and -1. So this was another match, like not a great match, but another showcase of Ty Conte. Like, just she's come so far. She's so good out there, and the Bunny put together a great match too. This one had a lot of interference from Matt Hardy, and at one point, the Bunny got a hold of Hikaru Shida's kendo stick and hit Ty Conte with it again. But that was broken up. I don't remember what happened, but at one point, Ty hit the Ty KO. Bunny kicked out of that. That was surprising. I didn't think that would. It's such a devastating looking move that I thought that would be it. But ultimately, after a bunch of interference and all this shit, Ty Conte hits the superplex and then the DDT for the pin on Bunny, and that's more of that feud. We'll see where it goes from here. I don't know if it's starting, if it's finishing, what we're doing, but we get our announcement for matches next week. Some awesome matches next week. First up, we've got Darby Allin versus Matt Hardy in a Falls Count Anywhere match. That is going to be fantastic. Hopefully, hopefully Matt Hardy doesn't get another concussion, but we'll see. And then we've got the Young Bucks versus Death Triangle for the tag titles. This match is going to be awesome. Very much looking forward to that. We've got the in-ring debut of Anthony Ogogo and Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet. Finally getting that match. Hopefully that'll be the end of this thing. And then also Dax Harwood is wrestling Jericho with Mike Tyson as the special guest enforcer. So not sure what that means, but more Tyson. Sure, you got to use that entrance music you just gave him. Maybe this time he'll be able to rip his shirt all the way through. Cut the bottom of Tyson's shirt so that he doesn't just have it draping around him for the entire time. It's distracting. And next up it's our main event, the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega versus the anthropomorphic porta potty is what Excalibur called Don Callis, and I thought that was the best one yet. My favorite is when they're like, we're gonna be joined by Don Callis, and everybody's just like, oh fuck, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, it's so good. It's so good to hear. But yeah, Good Brothers, Kenny Omega versus Young Bucks and Jon Moxley. Matt and Kenny Omega start this. Interesting to see them two starting off right off the bat. And pretty soon, Matt tags out to Nick. And they're doing some nice wrestling. They at one point they hit a trio of dives. The Young Bucks and Moxley hit some dives on the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. That was pretty dope. And then Nick's starting to get beat up. He ends up getting the hot tag to Moxley. Moxley comes in, hits everybody with German suplexes, and just cleaning house. At some point the tables turn. Nick Jackson gets put in there, and he looks amazing. He always has that one part where he just comes out like on fire, and he's just like hitting all his moves. He did one of those sequences tonight, and it was just awesome. I really love Nick when all things are firing. He looks great. And then we've got Matt in the ring with Kenny. Matt's just taking it to Kenny. He hits him with, a bunch of shit. And then he's going for the super kick. He stops the super kick and he's like, no, I don't want to do it. And then Kenny takes that opportunity and starts slapping. They start slapping the shit out of each other. Kenny takes him down, beats him up, hits him with a few snapdragons. Mox comes in for the save. And then Matt hits the pile driver on Kenny, and then goes and he's checking on him because Kenny he seems injured. So they then hit the more bang for your buck, and that's broken up by Carl Anderson. Nick hits the Escalera to the outside, looks beautiful, leaves Matt in the ring. And he's still hesitant. He still doesn't, he keeps saying that Kenny's hurt, like he's hurt. We gotta stop. Nick really wants to hit the BTE trigger, and Matt just keeps saying no, that he thinks he's hurt. Moxley's like, fuck this. He comes in, hits Kenny with 2 paradigm shifts, the best looking paradigm shifts that I've seen. And then chokes him out even more, picks up his limp body, goes to hit another paradigm shift, and Young Bucks super kick Moxley. What is happening? Eddie Kingston runs out, or gimps out, I should say, and he gets blasted right on the ramp. Gets hit with the Magic Killer right there. Good Brothers go in the ring, hit Magic Killer on Mox, and then Good Brothers, they drag Kenny Omega onto Moxley to get the pinfall victory. And then after the match, the Good Brothers are holding up Moxley and telling the Young Bucks to super kick him. So they fucking do it. The Young Bucks super kick Moxley, get hit with a ton of "you sold out" chants from the crowd, and Kenny wants to hit the too sweet, and they say nope, let's hug, and they hug, and that's the end of the show. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I love heel Young Bucks, so I'm all in for this, but I don't know. It's been a lot of back and forth. They either got to be all in, or this is not going to work. So I want to see the piece of shit Young Bucks that will just stop at nothing to just beat the shit out of people and get those belts, keep those belts too. And I was thinking that they were just coming up on a losing the belts, and they could. I mean, they got Death Triangle next week, so if anybody's going to take it, it's going to be them. But I don't know. It left me wanting more. Absolutely. Can't wait to see what's going on with them. What are we seeing the Bullet Club? What is this? What do we call this? Yeah, very much looking forward to next week's show. So yeah, let's talk about the rankings for that were just announced today, and we'll see if any of the matches that were on tonight had any effect on the rankings going forward. All right, so the rankings for April 7th are as follows. Kenny Omega and Darby Allin still champions. Number 1 contender, Hangman, got a win tonight, so I'm sure he'll stay up there. And then we had Jon Moxley, Max Caster, which Max Caster lost to Hangman, so I bet he's not even in the rankings next week. And then Jungle Boy and Cody. Cody, we didn't see it all after his beatdown last week, and Jungle Boy, they had a tag match, so it shouldn't affect that his singles rankings. And then the women's division, we got Hikaru Shida. Still is a champion. She did not wrestle. She did come out with the number 1 contender, Ty Conte, though. So that they're setting up for, not much story there. It's going to be more of a competitive matchup, I guess, where they're, a handshake rivalry type thing. Second, we still have Red Velvet, and I feel like after next week, I don't see her winning against Jade. So we'll see. I mean, they have been really pushing her, Red Velvet, that is, but Jade Cargill's just a beast. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Ryo Mizunami's still up there. She's 6-1. She's been on Dark every week, just crushing cans. And then Britt Baker is 5-1, and Nyla Rose rounding it out. She's 5-2. We didn't see anything from any of those people tonight. So I feel like it's going to, at some point, this Hikaru Shida Ty Conte match is going to happen. Yeah, at that point, and we'll see what happens. I expect to see Jade Cargill up in the rankings at some point real soon. Yeah, we'll see. Tag rankings, Young Bucks, still your champs. SCU, 8-0. Every week I talk about, like, they got to make a move on this. SCU needs to wrestle for that title. Ultimately, I expect them to lose and break up, but I could see one final SCU run with the belts. I don't see them beating the Young Bucks, though, so I don't know how that's going to shake out. You got Jurassic Express up next. They're 5-0. The Butcher and the Blade are up there, 4-0. My Buffalo Brothers, very excited for them. I think I would love to see them get a shot. Bear Country up there, 6-1. I expect them to be out of the rankings after their loss. And then lastly, FTR rounding out the thing. But Dax has a singles match next week, so we'll see. I don't understand why they're having Dax wrestle next week, but who knows? It's nothing makes sense. But yeah, next week's show looks very good. I'm excited. On paper, there's a lot of quality matches, more matches than we had this week already announced. Like, this week was weird. Lots of promos and very few matches. And then the matches they did have weren't up to the usual AEW caliber. They were enjoyable matches. I had fun watching them. I enjoyed myself, but they just weren't that top level. They were a little sloppy, but nothing terrible. I mean, Botchamania is gonna have fun with it. There was a few that I'm sure will show up there, but overall, it was a good episode. Progressed the stories quite a bit. I still have no idea what the fuck's happening with half of them, like especially the Hardy family thing. The thing was just thrown together, but I'm excited for the tag title match next week, and and more like best friends inserting themselves into that. I want to see more of that. I'm excited to see where that goes. But yeah, I enjoyed myself, and I look forward to watching it again and coming right back here and talking to you guys next week. So thank you so much for watching, for listening, however you are taking this in. Check out Pop Culture Playground on YouTube. That's where I post all my videos. It's got the bunch of video game news, movie reviews, game reviews, our streaming television podcast, all there. The podcast is called First Steps. If you're ever wondering what to watch, check out First Steps. We'll tell you. We watched the first episode of streaming series and we talk about them. And yeah, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. I'm everywhere. So again, Pop Culture Playground. My name is Erect the Red. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again next week. Bye.